New York Knicks Maryland Bruno Fernando. Photo by Mike Ehrmann, Getty Images. As the New York Knicks close their disastrous season, the draft provides a silver lining. They stand to at least own a top 5 pick, with intriguing players at the forefront that have starred in college over the past 5 months. Most of those talents have participated in the 2019 men's NCAA tournament. Some of them were in action on Saturday, March 23, as the second round began. The field would cut to 24 teams, with another 8 games set for Sunday. The day's action was represented by lopsided scores, aside from LSU's thrilling win over Maryland. So there was minimal fanfare amid the usual chaos. Which players stood out among the pack, however? Let's take a look. 4. Bruno Fernando, Maryland/line, 3 for -8 over 0 for -1/4 for 4 stat line, 10 points, 15 rebounds, 1 steal. Maryland kept it close with no 3 LSU, but a late basket from Tremont Waters pushed the Tigers to the Sweet 16 and eliminated the Terrapins. It was not the brightest offensive night for center Bruno Fernando, who had 10 points on 3 for 8 shooting. His work on the boards, however, was notable enough, as Maryland out-rebounded LSU 42-32, even with Naz Reid's presence. Fernando did fine in maybe his last collegiate impression, before a trip to the NBA. He projects as one of this class's top big men, although with the question of where he falls in the first round. NBADraft.net has the sophomore from Angola as the 9th overall pick. CBS Sports has him 18th. It's a decent disparity, but the draft process should impact where he eventually falls in the 2019 NBA draft, as a big body that can handle the boards and is athletic, but with doubt of how well he'll perform offensively at the next level. Either way, Fernando should become a fringe lottery pick. That is out of range for the New York Knicks, and they already have Mitchell Robinson patrolling the paint and developing into a second-round steal. Teams in the top half of the draft need big men, though, in New Orleans, Charlotte and Atlanta, so fits exist. Page 2 Murray State Ja Morant. Photo by Ben Solomon, NCAA photos via Getty Images. /line, 8 for -21 fifths for -6 sevenths for 9 stat line, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Ja Morant burst onto the national scene in the opening round, which could do wonders for his eventual draft placement, if his top 5 spot was ever in doubt. If anything, he might have become the number 2 overall player behind Zion Williamson. For about 5 minutes on Saturday, Morant looked primed for his sequel. He hit consecutive 3-point shots and became the scoring catalyst of Murray State's offense. Unfortunately, that may have been Florida State's plan all along, as they shut down the rest of the lineup and let the sophomore guard do whatever he wanted. A lopsided final score sent Morant and Murray State home, meaning basketball fans can't see him play until at least the Summer League. It ended one of the tournament's best stories, but the real talk can begin with the draft. Morant is an interesting target for the New York Knicks. They have a young point guard already on the roster, but if they vie for the best player available thought process, this is a difficult player to disregard, unless President Steve Mills owns the no. 1 overall pick. The lottery must transpire before this becomes realistic, but Morant should be in play for New York if they own the 2nd pick in June. Page 3 Gonzaga Brandon Clark. Photo by Patrick Smith, Getty Images. /line, 15 for -18 over 0 for -0.6 for 8 stat line, 36 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Not the Gonzaga household name basketball fans know. Brandon Clark unleashed this tournament's highest scoring total, at the time. His 36 points carried the Bulldogs to a double-digit win over Baylor and is the first no. 1 seed to advance to the Sweet 16. There were no three-pointers from the transfer forward, unlike most big performances from modern-day basketball players. Instead, he did his work inside, with an efficient 15 for 18 line from the field and multiple trips to the free throw line. The Bears had no answer. Clark's performance came as Rui Hachimura was silent due to foul trouble, and proved there are pieces beyond this likely top 10 pick to lead head coach Mark Few's team. At 6'8" and a wingspan that nears 7 foot, Clark has the defensive potential to intrigue as a late first-round pick. If not that, an early second-rounder, just as the New York Knicks struck gold in 2018. A night like this helps put Clark on the map, especially if he's capable of even 20-point games at the next level. The lack of shooting may hurt, since he attempted just 14 shots from behind the arc, but averaging 3.0 blocks per game and 1.1 steals makes up for it. Someone will gamble on his potential to become more than a defensive stopper, and that makes him as interesting as any late first-round selection. Page 4 Purdue Carson Edwards. Photo by Matty Meyer. Getty Images. /line 12 for -21 ninths for -16 ninths for 9 stat line 42 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Carson Edwards' first tournament game was a 20-point night, but with a streaky /line. That took an opposite turn Saturday night, as he led Purdue's domination over the reigning national champion, Villanova, 87-61.42 points on 12 for 21 shooting became this tournament's highest scoring mark, which broke Brandon Clark's mark from hours previously. 27 points were accounted for from behind the arc, as the 5 for 11 point guard unleashed his scoring ability and carried the Boilermakers to a Sweet 16 appearance. It was part of a 29 for 54 night shooting, which trumped the struggling Wildcats and sent them home early. Matt Harms and Ryan Klein contributed 30 combined points towards this effort. Now, Edwards is part of a team that's one win away from the Elite Eight. They need him to continue stepping up and leading the way, because facing a team like Virginia down the line could cause issues. Next, 25 greatest players in NYK history. If the New York Knicks choose to add another point guard, Edwards is a second-round candidate, unless a late first-round team gambles on him. He's a point guard size but plays like a shooting guard, similar to Trey Burke's stint from 2018-19. This is an interesting talent, either way, pending he enters the 2019 NBA draft.